ready? Why are you laughing? Why are you laughing? What's wrong with you, man?
Dude, this guy started laughing by himself and he blamed it on me. What the hell? Whoa.
What the hell is wrong with you, man?
I didn't laugh, bro. What the hell?
You're basically at his disposal.
Yeah.
You are his bitch now.
That is the intro for this podcast. All right. I gave you that so that you can look at your.
I don't need to. Fine. I just look at you, Wolf.
Yeah.
And the people that go home.
This is a clap. And that's the intro. I'm with Mirko. I don't know why I got him, but apparently a lot of people are looking for you, man.
You're looking for me, bro.
I was.
Yeah.
Yeah.
every time I'm with Wolf, he becomes so stupid, dude. I swear. I don't know
Yeah.
why. I don't know why this is.
I think that you're playing TFT, right? And there's like magic chess. We have our synergies.
Yeah.
Like when we get put in a board, when the existence of the two of us, we make each other like stupid.
The babayero trait.
All right.
Babayero trait.
But I got Mirko here, and I'll try. This is such a chill podcast as usual. A lot of people are already requesting you, and the thing with people that to everyone who is watching right now and leaving the comments, I love that you are suggesting guests. But I also wanted to if you're suggesting guests, I also want you to include the topics, right, so that we know what you want to talk about. I mean, I just wanted to know what you guys want to talk about. But for Mirko specifically, there's something special about this guy. There's something special about this guy, for sure, right?
What you mean? What do you mean by that?
Yeah, you're a special person, right?
Okay, I'll say yeah. All of us casters are special.
Special people, And okay. And one thing that's very special about Mirko is that he's very young as a caster. What's so funny about that?
You've already created a stupid environment, dude, and we've
Yeah.
only been here for less than 2 minutes.
Yeah, no, literally. And okay, so what makes Mirko very special is that he started shoutcasting internationally at a very young age. Yeah. Also, let's just dial it back. M3, you were selected as one of the talents. This was 2021.
2021.
And how old were you back then?
Guess. You know how old I am now, but don't try to multiply. Just
No,
try to,
I'm
don't
just
try to
stupid.
subtract. Just try
No,
to.
I actually know, but I forgot. So
Yeah.
probably 18?
19. I was
19
Just,
years old.
Graduated from high school.
Man. So at 19 years old, he's already at the international stage. That's very special.
Thanks, man. I think honestly, it feels special, right? Obviously, but it feels like back then the standard for English casting in Indonesia was just so low that I just got really lucky. I feel I got lucky that I got to work with you guys, and that is where I actually got to really show my specialty, right? Because a lot of people might think the specialty is play by play, just hyping things up, but no, I would say the specialty is learning.
Wow.
My specialty is learning. I learn really fast. Whatever it is, whatever kind of thing I'm doing. And the fact that I was able to, because in Indonesia, I was learning a lot, but obviously I wasn't going to be able to learn a lot as much as working with you guys at M3.
Yeah.
The fact that I got to work with all you guys at M3, basically the gods of casting,
Come on.
I improved so much. No, seriously. If you guys watch the M3 broadcast day one and then you've watched the final match that I casted play by play, you'll see the difference. You'll even see in season 9 that I just transformed.
Oh, I think that's something similar happened to many shoutcasters. I think I remember back in season 9. So we did 8 and 9 with Naisu. Then he goes to MSC as a shoutcaster too. And Naisu's already great. Like he sounds great. He knows the fundamentals.
He's handsome.
He's handsome, and he's like the big dong in the Philippines.
God
It's like the
damn.
perfect being, actually. He's just perfect, and everybody around the room is agreeing with us. He's just perfect, dude. But then when he comes back after MSC, then you'll notice so many things that he's learned through MSC, and then he's even more perfect person, right? So it's crazy, and I think that's something that you pointed out. That's I think that stands out. It's being part of the of a international broadcast when you're playing or with the player when you're casting with people who already mastered their craft from their country. It's like you'll absorb their techniques and stuff, and then all of a sudden you're better. But man, I didn't believe I didn't think that you would actually say something that's really inspiring. You know, I
Something
think
deep? You didn't
something
expect
deep.
something deep from me, bro?
Yeah, no.
You expected something funny?
Yeah.
Goofy? Zany, bro?
Zany, bro, loco. But thank you for that. And I think that's one thing that maybe shoutcasters in the future, or maybe this could be even be applied in anything that you do in real life. If you put yourself in a spot where it's like a grand thing, and then you will learn from other people. You know, you get better. Now, one thing that I wanted to point out though, it's at the age of 19. That's pretty young for a for international caster, and then you speak English so well. Yeah. So what's up with that? Where did that come from?
All right. I
Yeah.
think for me, it started obviously when I was born, technically, because
Wow.
technically my mother tongue is English, right?
Mm-hmm. And
That-
how did that happen?
My mom took English at her university as like her bachelor's degree, and basically she understood English. It was British English that she learned, right? So she's trying to get me to get a British accent as well, because that's apparently the best English, which I still agree to this day. But yeah, I've basically been growing with English my entire life, very exposed to English. It got to a point where my mom would ban or would just block all the Indonesian channels on TV because she didn't want me to watch any Indonesian shows. She just wanted me to watch as much English, be exposed to as much English as
Wow.
possible. So English songs, English cartoons, English movies, English TV shows. I was basically
Wow.
raised up like an American
Or British?
or British.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And why is that? Why is that? It's just he just felt like it.
So the idea,
She just felt like it. Meaning.
the idea was supposed to be she speaks to me in English, she teaches me English, and my dad speaks
Yeah.
to me in Mandarin, and I understand Mandarin, right?
You
Only
do?
No, only 50% of the job was done. My
Alright,
dad was
okay.
lazy. He didn't want to teach me Indo. I mean, my Mandarin, so he decided to just speak to me in Indo. So thanks, Dad. Now I can't speak Mandarin, and I have to rely on Amy to learn Mandarin now.
Yeah. Amy's Gideon's girlfriend and our resident Mandarin. Yeah, that's it. Resident Mandarin.
Resident Mandarin. But yeah, after that, the reason I was able to meet, like, because conversational English is very different, right? The fact
Yes,
you
for
know,
sure.
Right now we're talking, it's very easy. But when it comes down to broadcast and the way we
Right,
do things
right.
professionally,
Yeah.
it's very different. I mean, for the people back at home, maybe the way to visualize it, the way to put it into perspective is if you guys do a presentation in front of the class, it just feels weird. You're good at English, but then all of a sudden, when you're on stage, when you're hosting on like in a school event, you just don't know what to say next.
Yeah.
You have no idea what's going on.
Yeah.
I luckily had the experience to go on to a lot of English debating competitions during
Wow.
my time in high school.
Same.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. Yeah. Same.
That's-
I didn't know this.
Wow,
Yeah.
no wonder we connect so
Yeah.
well. We have
Yeah.
similar upbringings, but yeah. And public speaking. So English debating, public speaking, etc. I went to like a lot of conventions and a lot of high school competitions with those kinds of competitions.
Yeah.
And so that's how I built it.
And from what I gather is Indonesia is a country unlike the Philippines. They don't speak English as much, right? They don't teach English as much, and even in schools, like those debates that you're talking about, that's rare,
Yeah.
right? That's not available in all schools, and they wouldn't do it. I mean, because they wanted to study Bahasa Indo more. That tells me that you had a difficult high school though, or was it not?
It should be, right? Like
Yeah.
talking about, oh, this guy only speaks English. You know, when I got to primary school, so kindergarten, I spoke completely English. I went to like an international kindergarten, so everybody
Sure.
spoke English.
Yeah.
Sometimes I just want to like when I see Wolf, I just want to punch him. You know that smirk, you know. But no. So kindergarten, full English, spoken English, teacher speaking in English, friends speaking in English, and my mom also spoke to me in English. So I didn't actually know a lot of Indonesian. When I went to primary school, my mom decided to put me into the National Plus category, not the international. Basically, international is full English, same thing. National Plus is a bit of like both. So you get mathematics and you get matematika. Literally, you have two
Oh.
subjects. It's the same subject, but it's just different language. Science and IPA.
IPA is a Bahasa
It's
Indo.
Bahasa
Okay.
Indo Science.
Got
And then
it.
Social Studies, IPS, yeah, and so on
Yeah.
and so forth. So, yeah, the teachers literally thought I was special when they told me to count 1 to 10, and I wasn't able to do it in Indonesian. But then when I got to the English mathematics, the teacher told me to count to 1 to 10, and
Easy.
I did like 1 to, I just kept on going, and he's like, whoa, this kid's special in a different way again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see. And well, good thing is you went to an international school, and common conception about international schools, like they're at least here in the Philippines. If you're from an international school, you're quite well off. You know, you grew up there, right?
Yeah. I mean, I won't deny it. I think like I got lucky as well. I'm privileged. I'm privileged enough to
Yeah.
have good education,
Yeah,
to
yeah.
have a good home, and
Yeah.
good facilities to learn.
Yeah. Yeah, shout outs to your parents for providing you that. And then, so what you learned here is that you get so everybody spoke English in that school?
Yeah, most people spoke
Yeah.
English in that school. If you don't speak
Yeah.
English, kind of don't fit in.
Yeah, I see. Okay. So, now we've established your command of the English language, and then it got better. And then you actually you do not sound like any Indonesian that I've ever spoken to. Like when I got there in MPL Indonesia, they still have their Indonesian accent, much like I have my Filipino accent, right? So that never got out. But for you and Niso and Trex, you have
Gideon.
and Gideon as well. You don't have that, at least I don't know what it's a thick accent or something, but you don't have the Indonesian
It's
accent.
very American.
Very American, and that's and the effect of that is that people will now attribute you for. I mean, they will just like listening to you in English naturally, which is great. That's an asset for you. But now, where did you learn the shoutcasting part of it? Because that's a totally different story, right? So I would assume that you're a gamer since you were young, and you're still young, but yeah. So, yeah, can you tell me the story of how you got into shoutcasting?
All right,
Yeah.
I'll tell you the story of how I started first. Technically, like started gaming.
Right?
When I was I believe when I was 12 years old, my mom actually got cancer. Right, like she got sick.
Yeah.
And the only way for me to cope, the only way for me to really like escape that reality, that fucking depressing reality. It's okay to swear, right?
Yeah, swear.
okay.
It's okay.
Yeah,
It's
that
okay.
depressing reality is for me to play games. I found League of Legends at the time, so I played Minecraft a lot when I was in the early years, very
Yeah.
early. 5 years old up until like 12. I was
You
just,
played
like,
Minecraft 5 years old?
I was 6 years old or 7 years old when I got to Minecraft. Yeah, but I
Wow.
knew about Minecraft from like 5 and 6.
Yeah,
But
yeah.
my mom bought it from me after like, oh, I don't want to buy anything online because it's scary. At the time, it was still those
Yeah.
kinds of ways. But yeah, so I found League of Legends.
Okay.
That was basically my coping mechanism in grade 6. That's when I was 12 years old. And because I was just so into it, because I just had nothing else to do, I just immersed myself into the game, played it every single day. I lost so much weight, and I didn't care for studies at all because literally, if it wasn't League, it would just be me being depressed in the room, not doing anything. I didn't have
Yeah.
motivation to do anything.
Yeah.
So I became a complete nerd, a complete geek, you would
Yeah.
say. Playing the game 24/7. But luckily, the friends that I had there were also mostly people who speak English. So we had normal conversations. We spoke about the game. We watched the game. And we were introduced to shoutcasting very early because, the only reason League of Legends was fun for me was the esports scene, the competitiveness of it, right?
Right.
I wasn't playing it just for the fun, for the lols.
Yeah.
I was really tryharding.
Yeah.
And I got to a
Understood.
point where I was like really, really good, challenger top 7.
Hey, so get a jacket?
I did, yeah. I got
that's
the
so
jacket
cool.
and the backpack.
Yeah. Marky was telling me back in MPLI, because Worlds was happening back then, they were just sharing their League of Legends stories, and apparently the Challenger thing is a very big deal. Particularly that part where there was a bag with it. That was a good
Yeah.
season, apparently.
It was a great season, especially
Yeah.
for me, because right after those 2 seasons where you get a backpack and then the season after you get a jacket,
Yeah.
it just went to shit. Like the
Yeah.
meta was just so garbage. It was so
Yeah.
boring to play. But it's still fun to watch competitively. And I think
Right, for
that's
sure.
why, like, even when I'm bored of the game, even when I hate the game at times,
Yeah.
the esports scene would always be very interesting.
Yeah. How old were you when you got the Challenger thing?
I believe it's like 14, 15? 14 or 15, yeah. Season 6, 7,
Wow.
8.
Man.
14, 15, 16, I believe, yeah.
Okay, all right. And then so yeah, continue with your story.
So because I was so immersed in the esports scene, and the thing is, there were a lot of great edits of League, especially the shoutcasters. I think for us,
Right.
we're just starting. We're just getting to that point where now a lot of people are actually aware of casters, how good it is to actually have good casters, etc.
Yeah.
And they're now only starting to make like compilations, highlights. But in League, it was already a built, it was already developed. So
Yeah.
there's a lot to the casters, and I love Captain Flowers.
Yeah.
Yeah, you probably know him. If you guys
Yeah.
watch League, you probably know him. In my opinion, is the best play-by-play caster of all time.
Yeah.
For sure. And every time he wasn't on the desk, he just felt weird. So I was introduced to that idea. I was like, what makes him so special? He finds the hype, but he's also fast. He's quirky, witty, but it's not cringe.
Yeah.
He finds the middle ground in everything, and it just sounded so perfect. So it's not like I heard that and I wanted to be a caster. I just heard that and I was like, that's a cool thing to have, like a caster as good as him. And then when the time came, League of Legends died in Indonesia. My friends were all mostly in the esports scene of Indonesian League.
Yeah.
So they transitioned.
But you were
over.
just a gamer back
I
then.
was
You were
just a
just a
gamer.
player. Yeah.
I was
yeah.
a toxic gamer. Right? I
That's
was
what I
super
heard too.
toxic,
That's
yeah.
what I heard too.
So it was young man
Yeah.
Mirko, right? If you know me now, I'm already toxic now. Young man Mirko was unhinged, like seriously.
Yeah.
I was super toxic. I would
Yeah.
I would even shit talk the Asian Games representative for Indonesia, dude.
Yeah, you did. Yeah. What the hell?
I
What
met
the
him
hell
in
was
ranked
that?
games. I was playing with my friend who was also toxic, but his IGN is I'm not toxic,
Oh, of course.
of course.
Yeah.
And when we won, no, during the whole game, we would just all chat and say, "This is the representative for Indonesia. You guys are fucking trash, etc.
Yeah.
Garbage, blah blah." Blah. After the game, I would add him just so that he will accept.
Oh
and
my God.
I will shit talk, but he didn't accept. Luckily, because then I would be banned, I think. But
Yeah.
that's basically me back then, and that's why I didn't get any offers, didn't have any real esports friends because they
Yeah.
all know me as this toxic little
I
kid who's good at the
see, I
game but
see,
has
I see.
garbage attitude.
Out of interest, what was your role?
What was my goal?
Role.
Role. I was a marksman, ADC.
Oh man, Super Mirko. What
Vein
could have
main.
been?
Yeah,
What could have been?
it could have been, man. But all right,
Yeah.
so that's where we get to the part where League died. I was still playing it, but just more casually.
Yeah.
All the friends, all the esports people who I knew, based like with the other friends that I had, moved to Mobile Legends.
All right.
They moved to Mobile Legends, and one of them, T-Bolt, shout out to T-Bolt if he's watching this, he became part of Moonton. He actually joined. He was actually the coach of the SEA Games, first SEA Games for Indonesia.
Got it.
The silver medal against Philippines.
2019.
Evos and Onyx mix, yeah.
That's right.
2019. So he joined Moonson as kind of like I don't know what his role was, but it's like finding talents and growing the talents. He was like
Oh.
a talent coach.
Wow,
So he would
you
teach-
had that?
We had that. They would
Damn.
they would try to develop the talents, improve the talents,
Yeah.
and teach the talents about in-game stuff, not just only like casting.
For
things.
sure. That's great.
And I was already delving into the esports realm by like trying to just join whatever I could find, observing, editing, casting, but it's
Oh.
all in Indonesian. And then he remembered that in my Discord, we would all speak English most of the times in conversations when we're playing games. So he just sent a link in that Discord saying, yo, we're looking for English casters for season 7 of MPL Indonesia. If you guys are interested, just fill it in.
Yeah.
I was the only one who was interested, funnily enough. Everybody else is super rich.
Ye-
Yeah. So I DM'd him. I was like, yo, is this good money? Like, can I actually make a good living out of this? Because at the time, my mom got sick again. And I was really looking for a way to make money. You know, I
Yeah.
didn't want to rely on savings. I didn't want to have to
Yeah.
rely on her income. I wanted to really make money myself to support
Yeah.
the family because it was just me and my mom
Yeah.
at the time. 2019, my dad passed. So
Yeah.
this was 2020 and early 2020. 2020 and then to 2021. I auditioned. In the end, he said it's good money, blah blah. It's okay for a first job. It'll get better if you improve. We went through the whole process of the audition, interview, and trial, kinda. And they liked me. Surprisingly,
Yeah.
I was actually pretty good. And I feel like the reason I was good is because I came in with a nothing to lose mentality.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Most of the people who came in with me, like Gani, Gio, Choji, Chipi, Talia, all the other recruits were with me. They were all super nervous before before the first day of MPL.
Yeah.
They were all super nervous. We were there together. We were just like grouped up, talking and chilling. and all of them would be like, "Oh my god, dude, I can't
Yeah.
believe I'm gonna be casting tomorrow." And I was the only guy who was like, "No,
Yeah.
not nervous at all. I don't really like. I had no nerves at all."
No, during that time, which is
Yeah.
great. That's it's kind of rare, and mainly because it's you trust your skill in speaking in English, and wait, you've never had any shoutcasting experience before,
Indonesian
That-
shoutcasting experience from like small event organizers because
But-
I know people.
but a very casual thing that you did.
Very casual. It's very bad.
Yeah, I would assume because you don't know much about Bahasa Indo, so
Yeah. and MLBB.
Yeah,
Even
yeah,
now.
that's the thing, right? Okay, so you kind of skip the part where you went from League of Legends to Mobile Legends, which is typically the first response. The initial response is, "What the hell is this game? It's so bad," right? That's did you go through that kind of phase too?
Yeah, I went through that kind of phase during the Challenger days for me. When I was Challenger, the game just got released, and it was a meme in Indonesia. It's like MOBA. Why are you playing MOBA? Like, why isn't MOBA played with an analog stick?
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
That whole meme came about in Indonesia, and I was part of I was one of the haters as well. I was like, "What is this
sure.
game?" Right? I was a PC Master Race guy.
Yeah.
We shit on consoles. Of course,
Yeah.
we're gonna shit on mobile gaming
For sure.
But
yeah.
no, I mean, in the end, I think the game really improved.
Yeah,
no,
for
no,
sure.
no PR. The game really improved. It looked so much better when I
Yeah.
got into it. Like when I got that audition tape, I saw the game and I was like, wait, it looks good.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it was before.
That happened. And if you actually look at MPL season 1 and you compare it to today, dude, come on,
Exactly.
that's a funny thing, funny part of it. But yeah, so it was you accepted it very easily, I would say, because for me, the main reason, the main hook for Mobile Legends wasn't the actual game, but the storylines of the team when I was casting. Because the short of it is, when I was casting for Dota 2. And then we were quote unquote forced to cast Mobile Legends. What I felt was, okay, with Mobile Legends, I'm able to be Wolf, basically, be the analytic kind of guy, you know. And then there's an additional where the community is great because of the storylines and the drama that followed. Was Season 1 3-0 already, right?
3-0.
Oh man! As we are recording this, the series between Season and BG is happening. And so that was the hook for me. And then eventually I got into the game, and then I found out that okay, in the most analytical level, MOBB is actually quite insane, because now the players, although they're not doing as much as PC people, the mathematics, the physics, the science behind it is equally as intricate. You know, if you think about it. Obviously, there's less stuff to think about, but in the same sense, it's practically the same. So with that, and then I joined. All of those factors came in, and then I stayed with Mobile Legends after the season 1. But for you, what was that? What was that hook apart from the graphics and the gameplay?
For me, the hook was I needed a job. I needed money.
okay.
That was literally the hook because wasn't interested in the game. Didn't have literally zero interest in the game before I got that audition. Right?
Yeah.
I auditioned. I got accepted, and only then did I start playing the game. I bought an account because as a starter, going through all the emblems, buying all the heroes,
Yes.
it'll take too long for me to do that. And then by the time I do that, it's already going to be too late. I don't know enough about the game. So I bought an account. That's why my win rates are really bad. If you look at the other heroes, like if you see my Layla win rate, it's like 28%. I bought the cheapest account possible, and I'm still using that account to this day. That's why a lot of my win rates are fucked. But yeah, so I started learning the game. Basically my motivation was I just needed this, right? I needed to do good here. And that's how I found the motivation to learn. I literally just forced myself to learn. And that's why I told you the skill is not the play-by-play. It's not that. It's learning. Because I can force myself to learn something, to do something, as long as as long as there's money, I'll do it.
Yeah, which is funny because I think that's the reason why I stayed with Mobile Legends. Like we already talked about the hook, right? That's the storylines. But then again, there was a time where you can choose in the Philippines where, okay, do you stay with Mobile Legends? Do you stay with other games? Because it was, the esports was all-time high during that time. And then the pandemic came in. Fortunately, it was during the pandemic, I told myself, fortunately, I was already part of the Mobile Legends thing. Because otherwise, if I had stayed with other esports titles, man, I would be very, very poor. So I'm very thankful about that with Mobile Legends, and I think that's the magic of MLBB as well because anyone can play it.
Anyone.
Yeah, in the pandemic, right? During the time of the pandemic, if you want to play Valorant, you gotta have a PC, and then you just can't buy a PC all of a sudden, right? It's quite pricey.
Not in our countries.
Oh yeah, for sure, for sure. Yeah, Indonesia and Philippines they love the Mobile Legends thing more. So that happened, and now you're part of the Shoutcasting team, season 7, and I guess you're their wonder. What's that? Wonderkind. What's that?
Wonder Kid? Wonder
No.
Boy? What is that?
Wunderkind, something like that.
Wunderkind?
That's a different word. But yeah, we're the Wonder Kid basically, of the group, and that should be like at 19 years old. If you are put in a spot like that, it's crazy because you're practically the what's the term, like a front man for a team of broadcast. During the broadcast, you are given a very high stakes role as the play-by-play.
Yeah.
It's international, and then you get sent to Singapore. So that must be like a nerve-wracking event for you.
Not really.
Not really.
It was the same. I feel like because I came in with nothing to lose. I had more. I wouldn't say
Got
it's
it.
nerves, but it's like, oh, I'm gonna be working with these guys now. You know, like there's a different level to this. But it wasn't nerves. I was not nervous at all. I was actually very excited to meet you guys,
Wow.
to work with you guys, and to be on the world stage for the first time. And yeah, that's why. And even in the first cast, I think you didn't really sense like nervousness. I was just confident. I just did that. Maybe there was just a skill issue, right, for me, and when I got started, but that's about it. When it comes to confidence, I was confident. As long as I keep on getting input for you guys, as long as I keep working with you
Yeah.
guys, I know that someday maybe it'll take 6 months, a year, but I will improve to the point where
Yeah.
I can be with you guys.
Yeah, I remember you having you have a red suit back then.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was the Mirko special.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a Mirko. I think that for all of the pictures and videos that I looked for Mirko, that's the suit, right? It's crazy. And then this boy brings in zip ties and pre-made pocket squares. Did you have pre-made pocket squares back then, or
Not yet.
Not yet, right?
Not yet.
No, yeah, it's only the zip ties.
But you didn't know it was zip ties at M3. You found out about it at MSC.
Yeah, I did. But I mean, yeah, I'm that's just a very stupid pet peeve of mine. Like,
I think it's like an Indonesian thing because when you make suits in Indonesia, they'll look for practicality. And to be honest, it is very practical, right?
Yeah,
you
yeah,
zip
for
it
sure.
up or you Velcro
sure,
it. Yeah.
sure, man.
And then also from the pocket square, instead of making it, right, you can just put it
Yeah.
in.
Yeah, no, because for me personally, I think I started like trying to dress well during actually even before MPL, because I had a guy. I don't know if you know him, but he Ilustrado. Shout outs to him. Okay. I remember now. We had training in Mineski, and for some reason they got trainers that came from Australia. They're Asian still. They're like half Filipino or something, but they were teaching like how to become a better, I guess, talent in general. So they were teaching different stuff. Like they taught us how to do makeup on our own. Oh yeah, that's crazy. And then they also taught us how to present ourselves. So it's like a workshop, but almost no practical application of the cast. It's more outside, like your personality, building that up. And then there came a point where it's all about the suits now, which is I was very excited about. And I had my first one made during that time. And this will be crazy. It will sound crazy, but the first thing we did is to take a picture of our eyes, of our what's that, pupil or
Yeah,
something.
yeah.
So we took a picture of that, right? And then apparently, if you zoom in enough, you're gonna see colors, right? Because what's the color of your eye? Brown,
I
perhaps?
believe it's dark brown, yeah.
Dark brown, right? Dark brown for me too. That's pretty normal. But then when you zoom in, you're gonna see a lot of colors right there. And then apparently, the colors that are there in your eyes will fit you when you wear them. So the most outstand I mean like not really most stand out color in my eyes was actually midnight blue or dark blue, something like that. It's crazy.
That's
Wanna
so
do it?
interesting. Yeah, yeah, I would
Wanna
love
do
to
it?
do
All right.
that.
Okay.
to
Let
do it.
me take a picture of your eye.
Now, all right.
Yeah.
Can you see it over the glasses, or do I need
No,
to
yeah.
take it off?
Take it off. Take it off.
Take it off.
Okay.
I want to see it. This is actually interesting.
This is interesting.
Because if you see red, it makes sense. If you don't, then you're full of shit.
Yeah, yeah. But I mean, like ever since then, I've just the blue ones, and I have a dark brown shade to me as well. Oh, you might be good with yellow, actually.
Yellow. I am actually. Yeah, I mean, yeah, yellow.
Can you see yellow there?
I don't know how you got yellow. Maybe this is a bad picture.
Yeah, maybe it's a bad picture.
I don't know, maybe we can show it to them, but
Yeah.
it does. I don't really see the
Yeah,
yellow there,
but-
but
Really, you don't see the yellow?
I mean, I see like a bit of green. Like it's a very lime. It's kind of like lime.
Lime. Yeah. Like a yellow green or something.
Yeah,
But that's the point. Like, so it's funny because we did that first, and then I was like, yeah, nah, this is BS.
Yeah.
So there was a brown shade and a dark blue shade on my eye, and then with the help of well, I just decided that I think the dark blue shade is perfect because it's almost black, so sometimes it can pass up as black. Then if the light is strong enough, it looks blue. So I thought that okay, this is a good deal. I made the suit and stuff. Then I just chose the ties. I don't know why we got into this topic actually.
Yeah. No, we were talking about suits, right?
Yeah,
And,
yeah.
But I did actually to be honest with you, right? You had a whole backstory to suits. I'll tell you my backstory to suits
Okay.
as well.
Okay.
For some reason, every single time I watch like these movies where these guys get suited up,
Yeah.
I've always found it so cool, right? Like,
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I always wanted to have that drip.
yeah.
Yeah, and I've watched so many videos on suits, etc. Maybe not the ones. I mean,
Yeah.
but yeah, a lot of suit videos on YouTube,
Yeah.
and I got really interested in it. I remember, I think during high school, I was like, I just want a job that will require me to wear suits. Because if I have that, dude, I feel it just suits
Yeah.
are different. And then I would always talk to my friends, tell them like, if you get a suit, don't get it from Zara. Don't get it from a shop.
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
get
yeah.
it pre-made, dude.
That's right.
You gotta make it custom. It's more expensive. Tailor-made ones are more expensive, but it's so much more worth it. It
Yeah.
fits you. You feel like $1,000,000 when you wear that.
Yeah. I remember my very first time because it sounds like it's very expensive. Then I heard that at the right scenario, if you like shop good enough, it's gonna sound cheap. You gotta get it cheap. Anyways, my first suit was a 3-piece suit. There's a vest. There's a the suit itself, and then the pants. It was just a total of let me really quickly calculate 6,600 PHP to USD. 120 USD.
That's actually so cheap, dude.
Right. So how did that happen? Right. For a 3-piece suit, what I did was
tailor-made?
It was tailor. It was bespoke.
Wow.
So what I did was to go to a place in the Philippines called Divisoria, which is it's like in the heart of Manila, where cheap stuff can be found, and specifically for fabrics, they have a lot of about fabrics. So you have to just look, you just have to look. And then I found this cashmere wool, which it sounds cool, right? It's very expensive. Like the cashmere wool is actually very expensive. But then, so you see like cashmere wool, right? But then there's a underscore, which is like 50% synthetic or something.
okay,
Yeah,
yeah,
so
yeah,
I get it.
Semi-wool.
Semi-wool. But compared to other shops, the texture of the fabric is actually pretty good. So I still have that suit with me. That was 2017 when I first made it, and I always feel confident when I wear them. I think there's something about like dressing properly that makes you really confident, and ever since then, I think people started to like the way I dress which is weird because my hair will still be like very it's very stupid,
Very nerdy.
very nerdy. And then I would look like ridiculous with my face, right? Because I mean, we haven't taken care of our of our
I
face.
remember your old glasses, the rectangular.
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Very small, very
Exactly,
nerdy.
very
Look,
nerdy
yeah.
look. But when you wear the suit with it, it's just different. Then I started to buy shoes, and then the
Watches.
shirts, watches. But I remember my first watch is also very cheap, like a Casio metal, which is silver, which is like a
Yeah.
one size fits all kind of thing. But anyways, with the suit on, I felt very confident, and I think that I wanted to make that my identity. I want to look good all the time, you know. And shout outs to Gian Ilustrado. He said like never be afraid of being overdressed, which I thought was BS back then as well. But then when you start doing it, it's like, man,
Yeah.
it's actually, you stand out. And apparently, when we met, when Marakino joined the talent pool, that was her. I guess that was
First
her
impression of you.
No, no, not really. It's like her input contribution was like said, yeah, people should start dressing up because the show will look premium
Yeah.
and you will look premium, and people actually like brands actually look at
Exactly.
sponsors, brands, and the people behind the broadcast will actually look at you differently.
It's so interesting, right? Because it's almost like everything that I shit on as a kid will
Yeah.
come back to haunt me.
Yeah,
I remember
yeah.
it's the same thing with this bullshit, right? Like you would see the iPhone.
Yeah.
I was a PC gamer. I would literally trash on all my friends who actually had an expensive phone. It doesn't have to be
Same.
an iPhone. Any
Same,
expensive
same.
phone. Why the hell do you have a Samsung S6? Why do you
Yeah.
have an iPhone 6?
Yeah.
$1,000
Yeah.
for a phone? Just
Yeah.
because I use it primarily just to chat, right? I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
actually
yeah.
do any work on it.
Yeah,
because
yeah,
I work
yeah,
on my
yeah.
PC, laptop, everything. So there was no real use for this.
Yeah.
And then as I got to the mobile scene, as I got to like start working and using my
Yeah.
phone a lot, I just had to get it. The
Yeah.
Androids don't cut it, man.
Yeah.
Right? Well, most of the Androids, but then the Samsung ROG
Yeah.
comes out. It's really, really good.
Yeah,
but
they're improving now. I mean,
Yeah.
like back then it was you just have to look. By the way, my first smartphone was 2016 because that's the same. Like I'm a PC gamer. I only need to text my mates. You know.
Yeah,
If
exactly.
I need to connect with someone, I'll just text them. Why would I call them? And then there's Messenger anyways. Like so why would we do this? Yeah. But anyways, that's a development of it. Now, where are we actually? What are we talking about? You're being part of M3. I saw you. Yeah. Yeah. And that must be nerve wracking. And something happened, and I don't know if you want to talk about it, but
we can talk about it.
yeah, something happened which surprised everyone while we are quarantined. M3. In M2 we were quarantined for 14 days.
Yeah, 14 days.
M3 was 10 days for Filipinos, 7 days for Malaysians.
For me, I
M3.
believe it was 7 days as well.
7 days.
Or 10 days. No, 10 days for me. I think it's only Malaysians that got 7
Yeah.
days, right?
Right. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
The Phil agrees, by the way. Let the record show that the Phil. Oh. Yeah. Okay. So that happened. Now you are in a brick. Yeah. It was a very, I would say, bad experience because you were quarantined alone, right? You didn't have anyone, right? All right. Quarantined alone in Singapore. First international cast for a 19-year-old Mirko. Just loves to play games. Did you have a laptop at least?
I did.
All right, at least you have a laptop. Alone in Singapore for 10 days. Then you hear about this story. And was it was it your birthday as well?
No,
Something.
my birthday's on the February.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Nobody celebrated birthday back then.
don't think so. No.
Oh yeah. Okay. So that happened. Then you get informed. It was your birth. That was a Phil's birthday.
No, Fel's birthday?
In the
Was your
quarantine,
birthday?
M3. Right, that what?
In the
Yeah.
quarantine or Singapore quarantine?
It was during the group stage.
Oh, that was during the group stage.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
So that's why where my memory came
One of the
from.
birthdays, yeah.
Okay, so you received this news, a heartbreaking news that your mom passed. And it's crazy because I learned also during that time, Mirko, that your father also passed 2019. So 2 years after your mom, when you're overseas, you can't do anything about it because you're quarantined. You cannot go home. And you have to press on. How did you take the news, and how did you like I don't know, how did you cope up, man?
Yeah, I mean, when I got that, it was just crazy, bro.
Yeah.
Like when I got that news, because I knew she was sick already, right? From the days before. Before I even flew, I actually went to the hospital first to check in on her, like if she's gonna be all right. And the doctors actually said she's gonna be all right. She's already stabilized, blah blah. And in a week, by the time my quarantine ends, she should be go back home.
Yeah.
So that's why I decided, all right, then I'm good. You know,
Yeah.
like I spoke to her, told her I'm gonna be flying
Yeah.
to Singapore for M3, and then I went.
Yeah.
I believe it was like
Was she happy that you were part of casting?
Yeah, dude.
Yeah, that's great.
Course.
Yeah.
So there's this thing. I've never told I don't know if I've ever told anyone this. Because when I try to tell it, I'll lose to like the emotions, bro. But
Okay.
basically,
Up to you, man.
it's so tough.
Up to you. Man.
Ay. Every time.
Yeah.
Yeah. So basically, during my days of playing League, etc.,
Yeah.
I basically got her. I explained to her that like, yo, this is esports. This is a thing.
Yeah.
This could work, right? And I showed her all the esports scenes, showed them the world championships, the stage, and everything. And one day she just told me that she had a dream of me being in the world championships.
Oh man.
Yeah. So, sorry.
Yeah, I know. I mean, like,
So basically,
yeah,
at M3, that was why I kept going.
yeah.
I didn't want to go back. Yeah.
Whew. Give me a fist bump, man. That's whew. All right. Yeah,
Yeah. That's why.
that's why. So how did you? I mean, like that's a great thing. So she found out that you were in M3, and was she watching your casts at all, or did she like even like understand it or anything?
I showed her the cast of MPLID. Didn't show
Yeah.
her the cast of M3 because it didn't happen yet. It
Yeah,
was
yeah,
still
not happened
quarantine.
yet.
But yeah, she
Yeah.
saw the cast, etc., and she knew I was going to the World Championship.
That's
so.
great. Shout outs to mom.
Shouts to mom.
Yeah,
So when I got the news, I was like, nah, I'm not going back. Because like
Yeah.
Moonsun contacted me instantly. They were like, if you want to go back, if you want anything, let us know. Because
Yeah.
we will send you back, no problems.
yeah,
They were even like telling me that like we can get you to try to get like shorter quarantine and like
Yeah.
to go. But I
Yeah.
said no. I think at this point, if I go back, it'll be too late anyways. I'm just gonna make her proud here.
Yeah.
I'm gonna make that dream come true.
yeah.
Be on stage at the World Championship.
I remember back in M3 because you were the rookie of the team, and we weren't close yet. We're just making fun through chat or group chat, but I remember like messaging you like sending my condolences, but I didn't know what to talk about, and I didn't wanna, I didn't know what to do. And then so we were still quarantined back then. The first time we saw each other, Mirko looked like he was handling it like a king, a young king, Didn't feel that way. I didn't even like, I didn't feel like,
I'm
You
really
were
good at
actually-
hiding, bro.
yeah.
This is the years of her being sick. I had to keep that away, right? Gotta make it positive. Like,
Yeah, for sure.
But also,
That was intense.
you guys, I feel like it's you guys that really like made me be able to also kind of be a king, like be a
Yeah.
strong king. Because like when I was hanging out with you guys, when I was during breakfast, during
Yeah.
the hangout sessions, even when we were watching Spider-Man,
Yeah.
it just felt fun. I wasn't. I couldn't think of anything else except for like just having fun in the moment, and
Yeah.
that's why I think it just went through really well. Because the only hard part of that whole situation was when I was in the hotel room. Once I went out, I was chilling with you guys.
Yeah.
I was happy, and then when I'm on the desk, I forget everything.
Yeah,
whether
for
I'm
sure.
happy, whether I'm sad. When we get onto that desk, when the show starts, it clicks. Everything disappears. It's just
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
me, you, the
Yeah.
people who are working with me, and the game.
Yeah. When we get in the zone, I think, that's the thing with us during M3. We were just having a lot of fun together, and even I remember because we were playing Brawl at the start of the day. To start the day, we were playing Brawl just because we wanted to get the M3 pass up. And then shout outs to Aries. He was always reminding us the thing. And so at the end of the day, we also do like 5-man. Or I think I wasn't able to join as much because I was with I was doing something else. you know?
Yeah. I know.
Yeah. Maybe one day I'll reveal that. Yeah, maybe one day. But yeah, I was busy
Tune
with
in.
other stuff. Tune in for maybe episode 100. That's when I reveal everything. You're, I think we're at 17 or 18 today. Anyways, out of topic. Apart from that, so how did you manage to, for everyone around, it's okay, act normal. You will not be heard by the mics. Don't worry. So so everyone is just back because the series got was too fast. It was a 3-0. So how did you manage to to cope up when you were alone?
Thing is, I wasn't alone.
Oh, you're right.
Yeah,
You
I
have
was with Daniel from Moonton, shout out. But
Yeah.
basically, right, yeah, I was kind of forced to cope with it, right? I didn't
Yeah.
want to cry like a little bitch with a guy who I don't know in the room. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
my acquaintance, I just met
Yeah.
him, gonna cry like a bitch. Nah,
Yeah.
I ain't part of that life. But
Yeah.
I did shed a few tears when I was alone, when he went down for dinner first, or when he, obviously he
Yeah.
had some work to do. But yeah, it's basically, aside from everything, my girlfriend.
Oh,
Because
see.
I would call her every night during the quarantine days when I was super sad after
Yeah.
that the news broke out, etc. It would be my girlfriend who actually
Yeah.
keeps on pushing me, keeps on supporting me, and during that time I was actually a bitch to her. Because I was super sensitive, super depressed as well. I just whatever she did wrong or whatever she did that I didn't like just a bit, I'd be mad at her. I'd get angry, etc. And the whole basically being very very sensitive.
Yeah.
And she dealt with it. She didn't care.
Wow.
She was like, I don't care. Like, yeah, we're gonna get
Whoa,
through this. She kept
man.
on helping me, and that's why, my guy.
Yeah.
I'm a loyal man. I am playing with no bitches, bro.
Yeah.
There's only one bitch in my life, and she ain't a bitch.
I don't want to supplement that because I know that I don't want to add anything to that. Hey, that's great. The shout outs to what's her name?
Lewis,
Shout outs to Lewis. By the way, what language do you speak? Like when the two of you are speaking to each other,
English or Indo?
English or Indo. All right.
Mostly Indo.
Yeah. Because I believe that some of specifically some of our group, they speak English only. Yeah. You know who you are. Got it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyways, where are we? So shout outs to Louis. Louis?
Lewis.
Yeah. Shout outs to her. You're great. I can't imagine dealing with Mirko. But you did. But you did.
I'll do the special, bro.
And you deserve an award. Yeah. Okay. So now you're M3. You call the shots. You were in the grand finals, which is like probably very I don't know, crazy.
Yeah.
Was there any difference casting and regular MPL ID, the regular MPL ID game compared to the grand stage?
Of course, I think just the stage alone, the casting desk, the production quality, everything was just on another level, right? So
Yeah.
there was obvious differences there where I felt like, man, it feels so professional, but it only boosted my motivation even more.
Yeah.
Because everything was so high quality, I had the motivation to be like, bro, I can't be on this level. I need to be even better. I need to
Right.
get on these guys' levels. And that's
Yeah.
why every single time I would just be like, yo,
Yeah.
what do I need to improve on? What do I need to improve on? What do I need to improve on? And then whenever
Yeah.
I'm back, whenever I'm at the hotel, I would just rewatch every single clip.
Did you
Right?
really?
Yeah. You can ask the Daniel from Moonton.
Yeah.
Facts. Yeah, he can actually see it because I would literally just listen to the cast over and over and over again. Maybe you didn't hear it because I was
Yeah.
wearing
Yeah,
AirPods.
for sure.
But I just listened to it all night long until the point where I had to sleep.
Yeah. Because for me, I mean, I think that I think this is common to other talents as well. I don't want to hear my voice, man.
Yeah. Well, at the start of it, I was that way too. But
Yeah.
then it got to a point where if I want to improve, I gotta fight that. Right?
Yeah.
It sounds weird. It's very annoying to hear your own voice.
Yeah.
Yeah. You guys can probably relate as well. If you
Yeah.
guys do something, listen to your own voice. But I hated
Yeah.
it. But it got to a point where I didn't hate it anymore.
Yeah.
I actually enjoyed hearing my own voice, enjoyed hearing the progress. More importantly, the
Yeah.
progress. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah,
just
for
like, oh, I love hearing myself, right? It's
Yeah,
like,
yeah, yeah.
I love hearing the difference. After
Yeah.
every season, I would listen and I would see the difference. The tone would be
Yeah.
better. The hype would be better. The pacing as well. And
Yeah.
that gave me another boost in motivation because I was
Yeah.
satisfied with the end result.
Yeah, I think what I do to kind of judge my own casting before because I don't like hearing my voice and I cringe so much. then I realized that what you needed to do was to just get over it with it. I mean, I think one of the best things that you can do, and for all the other casters out there, was to immediately um, immediately replay whatever you're doing. Like for example, when you're on the way home, just
Yep.
that is the time where you can say that okay, this probably is enough, or maybe wait a very long while. But that's not the best advice. But I think the better advice is if you wanna what's that evaluate,
Evaluate,
self evaluate yourself, do it immediately, get it over with. That will stop the cringe, and it will become a habit a habit of yours to listen to it and then just get over it, then take notes afterwards, and maybe you'll replay for specific stuff. But so that's what I did, and I don't know about you, but I had a mentor. Right, so I always had my guy. I think that in many episodes of my podcast, I already talked about this, but that guy, shout outs to Zen, shout outs to Nate, and peer reviews, of course, with Manjin. We give we are very comfortable giving comments to each other, very objectively. So when we do well, we get we get these comments, and then if we don't, that's straight up. They're just gonna say it. Zen will say, "Hey, today you sound like you had a dick in your mouth," right? And I would say like, "Takes one to know one," something like that. But
Of course you would say that. Yeah.
but the point is, yeah, he said that because I was very nasally for some reason, and I didn't. I had to I had to research why does this happen, and apparently sometimes you have to accept that that's your voice, but at the same time you can actually shift your style, your modulation whatsoever. Then whenever he feels like my English is bad, my grammar is bad, he's gonna say it straight up, which is great. So I don't know if you have a mentor yourself about that.
I've had so many mentors, bro. Because first, when I started doing the casting, it was Momo-chan. Momo-chan was the one who really helped build the English desk that we have today. Even I think
Shout
she's
outs to
the
Momo-chan.
shout out to Momo-chan. She's the mentor that taught all of the English casters you see in MPL Indonesia. Gani, me, Arashi, Eterna. It's all Momo-chan. Only now that we are seeing the new newcomers again, Realize and Sheffin, the two new casters. Then I think we are the new mentors. All four of us are the new mentors to the new generation. But
See,
aside from that, I would say you guys are my mentors. The guys that I met at M3. Because if it wasn't for you guys, I would not have been able to
Yeah.
improve to this level. You, Gideon, Lafel, Leo,
yeah.
and even Mara. She taught
Yeah.
me so many things about like hosting, about
And our
body,
hands.
the body language.
Yeah.
I learned so much because Mara told me like
Yeah.
about how I should actually like be on camera, where to look. Because I
Yeah.
would only just look at the camera. I would just stare at the camera.
Yeah.
But then you completely forget about the
Yeah.
people next to you. And so,
Yeah, that's right. I think that you came. M3 was a very important time for because me and Leo were roommates, and I think that TMP or the Madrigal project was also like maybe wave 2 back then. TMP is Leo's project, by the way. He was teaching. He's here. Hey Leo, what wave was TMP during M3? Wave, wave 3. Live wave 3, yeah. So Leo was in the zone where he's actually mentoring people, and we were there. I mean, I was there. I was rooming with him. We're doing all kinds of stuff. I can't.
all kinds of stuff.
Yeah, man, you'll be surprised, dude.
Oh.
Yeah, Leo and I have we shared too much, a lot of stuff, during the quarantine. It was like 10 days the second time, 14 days the first time, dude. We did all kinds of stuff,
Beautiful, beautiful. That's what
Beautiful.
that's what we want to hear.
Yeah. Anyways, where am I getting at? But yeah, you came to a point where you came at the point where Leo and myself were very much into like mentoring people, which is great. And also, back then, I remember you wanted to establish the roles of shoutcasting because I think we're not even doing anchor, caller, play-by-play back then. We're doing like
We were doing play-by-play anchor, color analyst
that's right.
at M3. Yeah.
So it's a different story, and then the anchor was actually in the middle.
Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. So Shoutouts also to the production for allowing us to do that because we were also experimenting, right? So yeah, we got mentored, and it was a great tournament, honestly. Then we look back. When you look back M3, you don't even remember how you made it through, because at least for us, for me personally, it was a very intense tournament in a way that I'm juggling a lot of things. I was working so much, and um, I I didn't know how I finished it. I wonder if you feel the same way.
I feel the same way. Maybe I didn't have as many jobs as you at the time, but 14 days of just
Exactly.
five talents.
Exactly.
Five talents.
Yeah.
It was us rotating every single day, doing
Yeah.
three best of fives in a
That's
day.
right.
And none of us lost our voices. Everybody was good. Everybody was
Yeah.
healthy. No one got sick.
Yeah.
That was crazy. Thinking about it again, especially now, the fact that like even after 3 days, I feel like, oh man, I can really feel the strain in my voice. How
Yeah.
do we pass that? How do we get through that?
Yeah, you get kind of memory. I think it's mainly because of adrenaline. They say that science says that if you have enough adrenaline, you also heal faster.
You're right. Because we
Yeah.
didn't stop, so the
Yeah.
adrenaline just had to keep going.
Yeah. Shout out to Dan. You can show yourself on camera. Oh my god, that was very close. All right. Content. Where were we at? Anyway, M3. So we finished it. Now you go back to MPL Indonesia. So what generally happens if you go to an international event, you kind of have a lot of learnings. So you wanted to share, and stuff. There's always I don't know if Indonesia has this culture of chismis. You know what chismis is?
No.
Rumors.
Oh,
Gossip, basically.
Yeah.
Yeah. So you bring all of those stuff, like the good stuff, the bad stuff, the chismis, everything. You bring it back to your home country, and then you try to improve the team as well. Did you ever feel like a leader afterwards? Did you feel like you have to lead the English broadcast after going back?
Yeah, I think I had to. I had to step in that role, especially because in season 8, that was basically Momo-chan's last English desk performance.
Okay.
She didn't want to take English anymore. She wanted to go back to where she's actually amazing
Yeah.
at, right? What she's amazing at, and it's Indonesian casting. So
Yeah.
we were at a point where we didn't really have any more mentors. I had to step in, and that's
Yeah.
why from everything that I've absorbed in M3, I gotta bring that to the table.
Yeah.
I gotta bring that to everybody. At the time, it was still for Indo, main cast, co-cast, analyst. The only one who actually had a real job desk was the analyst. Just analyze the game.
Yeah.
For both the main cast, co-cast, we would just basically like keep on
Yeah.
heading our voices, boom,
Yeah.
boom, boom, and that's where I said, guys, this format is trash. I literally told them this is dog shit. The format that
Yeah.
we have is the most garbage. It sounds like
Yeah.
we're actually just fighting for time on the mic.
Yeah.
When I first told them that, they were still skeptical because they haven't experienced it. So I
Yeah.
told them, let's try this format. If it works, if you guys like it after 2-3 weeks, then we keep on going.
Yeah.
But if you don't, then we can talk
Yeah.
about it. We can try to maybe find our own format.
Yeah. Out of interest, you said this in the English broadcast or
English
okay,
broadcast.
not basa no.
I
Okay.
did speak up. So basically, to the whole English broadcast, I told them. I
Yeah.
didn't tell them to the talents. I told them to the English talents. Didn't say that to the Indo talents. I
Yeah.
only said that to Munjan at the time. I was like,
Right.
yeah, this format that we have, the main cast co-casting, it's horrible. I don't know why you have the system. And now, hey, they've changed it. Even the
Yeah.
Indonesian broadcast, they're like, oh yeah, it does sound like shit. It took
Yeah.
them a while to fucking realize, but I'm glad they finally realized because it sounds so much better.
Yeah.
Momo-chan, KB, and Ranger Amas, they've implemented the system and they've been basically doing the same thing that I did at M3, asking me every time, listen to the broadcast, tell me what you think, tell me what you think, tell me what you think. With all the criticism that I give them, it sounds so good now.
Yeah, I think it's crazy because we were satisfied of what was happening. I actually did not understand what main cast and co-cast is. And you know what's a funny story? Because M3 was M3 we had our rotations and that's our designation. Like, what is a main cast and what is a co-cast? Hey, come on, I don't
Yeah.
want to be a co-caster. I don't want to be labeled like a co-caster. What the
Yeah.
hell is that?
It's a sub.
It's a
Right?
sub, right? So
Kinda.
it's weird. But I think then I realized maybe this is just a lost in translation kind of thing. But apparently it is actually a thing in Indonesia. I didn't understand it. But I think that the group also we talked amongst ourselves. We talked to Munton and then they listened. We had our first iteration of that anchor play thing. Then I think that we improved it. MSC,
MSC,
Right.
we implemented the anchor color.
right,
And then
right.
after that, it was perfect.
Perfect. Yeah, exactly.
found
And I think that it's great because you had experience with League of Legends and you were listening to it all the time, and it sounds like that, right?
Yeah.
But it's different because in League of Legends there's a lot of lull, so a lot of analyst time. In our case, we had to also adjust that. We cannot like copy whatever they're doing because the game doesn't operate that
Pacing,
way.
everything's different.
So the pacing is different. The roles of the play-by-play and the anchor and the analyst that we have right now is, I would say, tailored for Mobile Legends.
Yeah.
It was patterned from other titles, but it's now like it's bespoke now to Mobile Legends, which I think it works. And the people are leaving. Yeah. Okay. Man, we've been speaking for an hour. I can still go on. Can you still go on?
Yeah, I can go on.
All right. M3. So that so when you come back now, MC now you're a staple. How did you take being a leader in a team where, yeah? How did you actually feel like you're a leader, like you're captain of the ship for the broadcast?
I did, not for the broadcast, for the talents, right? Because
Yeah.
like for the broadcast, I feel like there's no real leader. It depends. If you're the anchor color now, you're a leader, right?
Yeah.
So technically that role was swapped around. The anchor would be the leader in the broadcast. But outside of it, I took that role. I
Yeah.
had to. I think for me, I never really cared like about leader title,
Yeah.
who's the leader, whatever.
Yeah.
It's the guy who can actually, it's the competent guy who can basically lead everybody else, right?
Yeah.
Like, I don't care who's going to be the leader. If Arashi was the guy who went to M3 and got all that experience, he'd be the leader. If it was Eitan Nagani, whatever.
Yeah.
I was the guy who was fortunate enough to go to M3 to, get
Yeah.
all the experiences, soak everything that I've learned. I'm going to have to share it. And that's
Yeah.
why, I would say I did basically feel, I felt like a leader. I
Yeah.
played like a leader and I
Yeah.
motivated and taught like a leader.
I think in every casting group there should be someone who's leading a team, and I was very fortunate here in the Philippines that there are so many leader. What's that? Leader. I forgot the word I was trying to say, but there are so many leaders. Leo was a big leader for a while. I don't know if he's listening to us. He's not.
What?
Leader. he's gonna no, let the record show that he shook his head, but yeah, no, that's the thing, right? But we don't have like a leader to do everything like all the time. It's like for today, okay, you're leading the team, something like that. So Manjin also leads. Leo leads a lot. I believe Renmar also leads us a lot. I lead the analyst, perhaps something like that. But yeah, there were so many like leader personas in the group, which is great. And I think that it's like it's funny because when you watch Avengers, you're gonna wonder why do they have to have a main man? Why does it have to be like Iron Man as well as Captain America? I think that a group of talents needs someone to lead them too, right?
I agree.
Yeah. So
It's very important.
very important. And now you took the role. Perhaps how did how did you? Because I think that amongst all of the broadcasts, there's a special bond for MPLID English talents. You guys are. You kind of end each other's sentences well. Maybe because you're a small group, so that helps a lot. But at the same time, that's a tight knit group. So I mean, technically you're the youngest still, which is also like a different problem altogether because now it relates to you leading the team. So how did that come together? How did the Indonesia group got tightly knit?
So basically, it came from like after M3, because the way we were doing it before M3 was the fact was we just did our jobs and went home. We didn't really care for it. We didn't really have any like debriefs after the whole cast. We never really spoke about our cast at all.
Yeah.
So after M3, the fact that we always had debrief sessions where we just spoke about what we need to do,
Yeah.
how to improve as a collective unit, etc. I told them, all right, this is how we're gonna do it. I don't care. We gotta do it. If we want to improve, if we want to be good, if we want to be the next like level, if we want to get to the next level, we gotta do this. Firstly, we gotta get close, right? We gotta bond so that the synergy will be good for all of us.
Yeah.
We can catch each other's jokes. We can have proper conversations, fun
Yeah.
ones. And the main thing that I told them was we need to differentiate the relationships we all have. We have a personal relationship and we have a professional one.
Right, right.
So when I tell Arashi, you sound like shit today, he's never gonna take that personally now. After I told him that,
Yeah.
maybe before the whole M3, before I put that like set
Yeah.
that apart, he'd probably be like, "Oh damn, this guy hates me," right? But it's
Yeah.
not. It's actually the opposite. If I
Yeah.
care about you, then I'll actually give you the professional criticism. I'll actually
Yeah.
try to make you improve. And if I don't like you, I'll ignore you.
Yeah.
I'll just, all right, that was good. The cast was good. So that was what we kind of already established. What I established in the scene,
Yeah.
where we needed to have a professional relationship and a personal relationship. After everything that has been said during the professional session, we would chill and we would. There was nothing, no personal feelings at all, no hard feelings, nothing.
Yeah, that's great. And big shout outs to them because it takes maturity to do that. I mean, if you go back as you're the youngest and then, the other casters will say like, come on, man, getting into M3 doesn't make you better than us or something like that. Yeah, that there were big props to Eterna, to Gani, just four of you, I think.
Yeah, Gani or Eterna Arashi.
Yeah, that's it. And then Sheffin comes in and
But the thing is, what's great about my group of casters,
Your
as
tribe.
well, our tribe, is the fact that again for them they don't care about age. I'm 21. I was 19 at the time. They never
Yeah.
looked at me as like, oh, he's 19. We're more experienced. We will be
Yeah.
the leaders, etc. They look at it as like, yeah, you have
Yeah.
more experience despite us being older. In this field, you have more experience. You're the one
Yeah.
that can actually teach us all these things. And then I also tell them, by the way, like because I'm a leader, I'm not exempt from criticism. I tell them if I do something wrong, if you don't like what I'm doing,
Yeah.
let me know. And that's why we grew together.
Yeah.
If you see the whole thing, it wasn't just me stagnating after M3. I
Yeah.
also continued to improve because they were also giving me input. They were telling me, you were too loud here.
Right.
You were doing this. You were doing this. And I always tell them, it doesn't matter how many internationals I go for, Eterna goes for. Gani and Arashi will be able to criticize them. Will be able to criticize me and Eterna. It
Yeah.
doesn't matter because you don't need to be a professional caster to hear something bad. You know what I
Right,
mean?
right,
It's the same
yeah.
thing with players. A lot
Yeah.
of people, most people on the internet, the dumbasses, right? They'll be like, "Oh, why are you criticizing the player?
Yeah.
He's better than you." No, if he fucking flickers to the front, he's wrong, right?
Yeah,
Like,
exactly.
if he dies, he dies.
Yeah. And that's great to hear from you, Mirko. I love the maturity from you. It's 21 years old and you're already thinking about that. That's great. And then obviously big shout outs to the other members of the MPL ID.
Gani,
Tar-
Eterna, Arashi, my
All right,
boys,
the boys.
my tribe.
And then Sheffin comes in. Do you have a new caster?
He's actually coming here to M5.
Okay.
Realize.
Oh, wow. Oh, yeah. The one that, yeah.
Then we judge, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. My brain is bad, dude. My brain is mushy.
I think he has a lot of potential.
Yeah. So that's exciting. Now we're here at the 5. Man, we've for M5. So this is your third M series. Must be ecstatic now. You're in the Philippines. I would say for you, like now that you're 21 years old, you're probably thinking like there must be something else from my career. Like you should probably think because I see that you're doing YouTube, perhaps. Then you're doing like I don't know. You get monetized for YouTube, right? Yeah. So whatever. You're doing content. You're doing other talent jobs, right? Talent work. Is there any realization that you need to like be more responsible and think about like a 8 to 5 job, or are you gonna stick with this thing that you're doing? Even think about that? No.
I've just been thinking about how I can actually grow here with content creation as a caster as well. I think for me, main job is always going to be casting, unless I get kicked out. Right, that's going to be a different story.
Yeah.
But as
You
long
get
as
cancelled.
yeah, as long as Moonton has me and like are okay with me, I'll be casting until whenever they want me.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think for me, content creation, YouTube, everything is just a bonus because
Yeah.
it's just a side thing that I do because I enjoy it so much.
Yeah.
When I was a kid, all the way back to the Minecraft days, I actually had a YouTube channel because I watched YouTube every single day. I watched people make Minecraft videos, so I just made
Yeah.
Minecraft videos. So it was already a passion for me from when I was really young. I
Yeah.
wanted to be a YouTuber. I wanted to have content. So
Yeah.
that's why it translated over so well.
Yeah.
I didn't even have to force myself to do it. I was just like, I want
Wow.
to join it. I want to do this.
Yeah.
And that's why I'm trying to learn about all these setups
Yeah.
from you. Yeah.
I gotta say, like, I'm not that. If you look at my videos, my podcast, they're not like high quality whatsoever.
Bro,
At
have you
least the
seen my
audio.
sarcast? It's just a webcam, no edits,
I know, I
nothing.
know. That's the thing, right? Because for me, I know that I can do that. I know that
Yeah.
I can actually like talk for hours about a topic, but I just can't find myself. I get like a what's the term? I forgot the term. It's like a bottleneck for like creativity when the quality is bad. Somewhere along the lines of if I didn't like the video quality, I probably will not click on it.
Yeah.
But then I learned that that's not the thing for people.
For YouTube, that's not the thing, bro.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
quantity over quality.
That's right.
Quality can go to hell.
That came from Mirko, not from me.
Yeah.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean
Look at what
quality of
Disney's
the
doing.
quality of visuals. Yeah, yeah. Marvel, you know. Yeah.
Just
Yeah,
get
this-
shit out.
Yeah. So that's the thing, right? I think that whatever the actual content, the actual substance, I feel like I can have that covered. But when it comes to like the visuals or the stuff, at least now the audio is improving. Everybody can hear each other well. But for me, like that's a bottleneck for me. That's not one thing that I have to improve on. But yeah, actually, I wanted to ask you like how did that naturally come to you? Right, so it's just that because you love it so much.
Yeah, I love
Yeah.
content creation. Whether again, Minecraft days, watch Minecraft videos.
Yeah.
League days, watch League videos, and MLBB as well. I was watching a lot of MLBB
Yeah.
content. Jonathan Liandi, he makes like
Empe. Yeah.
Empe show, right? Empe talk, etc. He just talks about the game, talks
Yeah.
about, and it has podcasts like this. So
Yeah.
the idea of Sarcast was supposed to be a podcast, but didn't
Yeah.
have a setup. Didn't have the money for a setup.
Yeah.
Now that I do, I was just lazy, to be honest, for the last year. Because I really wanted to have this whole setup thing. I just
Yeah.
didn't want it to be online. You know what I mean?
Yeah, 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 yeah.
And that was the hard part. How do
Yeah.
I invite people over? It felt awkward to me. But
Yeah.
now after maturing again, I feel like I think I'm gonna do it. That's why
Yeah.
next year I'm planning to do that.
Nice one.
I'm already renovating the place so that I can actually make
Great. Yes, but-
podcast spot.
That's what I wanted to do as well. Like that's one thing that I hope that the fans of the 8G podcast will be excited about. Whatever you're seeing right now, it's my quote unquote mobile setup. It's like a
Mobile.
yeah, it's a because literally my
We're
past
in the talent
episodes.
room.
Yeah, we're in the talent room. Remember when we did like Ranger Amas? That was in the
That was
hotel.
the hotel for MPLI.
Hotel. I think I did several in a. There was even I just found a green room because
Just use anything
Yeah,
you
anything-
find
anything you find.
everywhere,
Exactly.
anywhere, anytime, any
Yeah.
place, bro.
yeah, that's why don't be surprised if you can overhear some of the casters and what they talk, and hopefully they didn't say something really bad.
Ako kain puke.
Yeah.
That's what the boys have taught me. I don't know what that means.
Can you say that again?
Ako kain puke.
Yeah.
Don't know what that means. 100%.
Yeah.
I've heard that it means good morning.
I'm coming up with a way to kind of salvage you, man, but
You taught me. No,
no, I didn't.
It's Omi.
What did I thought Yasu supot ako. Can you say
Supot
that?
ako.
Can you say that to the camera?
No, I know what that
No.
means.
It means I'm a
Supot ka.
plastic bag.
Supot ka.
It means I'm a plastic bag.
So I'll say supot ka. You're the plastic bag.
Supot ka. Supot ka rin.
Mas supot ka.
That can't.
That can't work.
Yeah.
I'm learning Tagalog. It's not that.
Yeah.
I'm not on that level
You're a
yet.
plastic bag.
It's not a plastic bag.
Nah, it's not. Anyways, where are we getting at? Yeah, fans of the AG podcast. Hopefully, it will be different the next time. I'm gonna be setting up a studio or a makeshift studio at least.
Office room.
Yeah. Anyways, man, glad to have you on the show. This is the first part of it. Hey, this is just the first part, man. I'm doing it like what I did with Gideon, where I stop at M3. We will still talk about that stuff along the way. I hope you're still down with that.
Let's go.
And then eventually we're gonna be talking about different stuff in the part 2 of the Mirko. I'm gonna milk you out while we were in the Philippines, man.
Milk me out, bro.
I'm gonna milk you out.
Milk me. As long as I like it, right?
Yeah. You can. Anything you wanna say to the viewers out there? Anything that they have to watch out for from Mr. Frederick Loho?
Well, expect production quality to be much better next year. Right after I get back from M5, I'm really going to be thinking about how I can improve my content from the editing
Yeah.
all the way to even the vlogs. Trying
Yeah.
to get these cameras that you see right here.
Yeah.
And also these microphones. I need to just increase the
Yeah.
production quality of everything. So
Yeah.
it sounds better, it feels
Yeah.
better, and I can have the same amount of quantity.
Yeah.
So it's quantity and quality, bro.
That's right. Hey man, you would be surprised. You can be very frugal about it, but still get a good stuff. Actually, that mic is not it's not that expensive compared to the typical podcast mics
Yeah,
that you see.
because you didn't bring the Shure mic out for me. You brought the Shure mic out for Gideon.
Yeah, but do you
What
want
is this
to?
double standard, bro?
I'm just showing the world that Mirko is rich
How am I rich?
because one of the most noticeable traits of rich people is that they're elitists, and when you get downgraded, when you see if you compare a brand to another brand, like what you just did, it's a trait of rich people.
Let this be okay, guys. Kyrie said the best talent
Hey!
thing was when he was asked by Manjin, "Who's the greatest talent?" He said it was Wolf. Why?
Hey!
Because he's the richest caster. If he didn't say Wolf, Kyrie's family would be bought out by Wolf.
Man, hey, let the no, do your thing, guys. Do your thing. To all of the people out there, this richest caster wolf thing should stop.
No, it should not, guys.
It should. Hey, it's not true at all.
It's the
You
Bro
know who
brought
started?
up. I don't see anyone else bringing a mobile podcast setup.
But it's
bro.
not just mine, dude.
Yeah, because hey, it's not just yours. Who is it? Who does the cameras belong to? One Esports. And guess who owns One Esports?
I don't own
That's
One
you.
I don't own
Who
one.
owns
I
this
don't
talent
own one.
room?
Hey,
Who owns the Philippines? It's you.
I'm sorry about
President.
the CEO, Mr. Carlos. I did not mean they just they just
Mr.
told us-
Carlos, we all know about the shadow owner of One
Hey.
Esports.
No, hey, this has to stop because I think that this has to stop. Coach Yeb, I love you to death, but I hate you. That's also Baloy. Everyone from Onyx started that thing.
Yes.
They started that thing. It's not true. It's not true.
The more you try to deny it, the more you
It's
try to
not true.
fight it, the more you tell the people not to do it, they
Man.
will do it even more, Boss G.
No, man. How do we end up in this topic? I don't know, but that's the tail end of the Mirko episode, part 1 only, because there's a lot more that Mirko and I should be talking about. One thing, maybe the stuff that you have to look forward to for the next Mirko podcast is Indonesia versus Philippines, the differences between like the pro scene. I think that we're gonna be spending so much time about that.
4 parts.
Yeah, it should be 4 parts. That's very exciting. Yeah, but anything else you want to plug to the people?
No, I just love you guys. If you guys are, I think most of your viewers are Filipino as well.
Yep.
Shout out to the Filipinos, man. You guys, especially here, the hospitality is amazing by the fans. I go out and I'd hear people screaming my name. It's so strange because in Indonesia, no one does that, right? And then in other countries, Cambodia, Singapore, Philippines, Malaysia, there'll
Sure.
be people who's like fans of me.
Sure, man.
What do you mean, sure?
You're quite famous, man. What are you talking about?
Where? In Indo?
Are you not famous in Indo?
Only now because I did like the whole lemon entrance and that went viral.
right.
But before that, nobody gave a fuck about the English desk. The English, ew. Speak Indonesian, bro.
Yeah. All right. And yeah, big shoutouts to the Mir cult, actually.
Mirko, you guys are the best fans in the world.
Legit, man. There was one time where I was just, for the very first time in my life, I stayed throughout the 4-hour stream, and that was
My stream.
your stream because of the Mir cult. And I was just like making fun of this guy. And people are like, when I say Viva, you say Max. This is like the peak of streaming, man. How did it even happen? Like, I think it was because of Age, actually. Age came in and
Age, Fiel, everybody came in.
Everybody
bro.
came that day for some reason, and they were just like, about the Viva Max thing.
Yeah.
And
The stars aligned, and we were all talking about Viva Max because of
Oh
this
my
guy. I didn't
God.
even know what that is, and he started making the Angelique Kang jokes, and I went with it because I was like, "Shit, everybody's having so much fun. I'm just gonna go with it."
Yeah,
yes,
sure,
Mir
man.
Kang, Mir Kang.
hey, I saw your phone. You have the Viva Max app. Don't don't lie about it, dude. The more you disprove this,
Where? Where?
that's not all. That, by the way, Mirko has 3 phones actually.
What do you mean 3? Where did
Yeah,
you
you
get
have
the
3
other
phones.
one? I have
Man,
2.
hey, the more that you deny this, the more that you look ridiculous, man.
Where? See that? It's the app and it's not downloaded. Get.
See?
If you've downloaded it
Oh,
before,
you-
it will
oh,
do the cloud
the
thing.
cloud thing.
So
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
get.
All right,
There you
fine.
go. Never done it.
Oh, so he does it in your PC. Right. Oh, right, you're doing it in your smart TV. But yeah, that's Viva Max Mirko and the Mirko. Shoutouts to you guys. You're the best. Keep on doing you. We're gonna be having a lot of fun in the future. That's it. If you don't have anything else, that's the end of Mirko podcast part 1. See ya.